So welcome back, everyone. Super excited that we're live on Facebook to everybody. So hi out there, and like us and follow us. We're going to share the show later on. I got a newbie with me. I have with me Derek Cooper, and he's the owner of ASC Insurance. We're going to talk about, we were talking insurance earlier, but it's different. We're going to talk about Medicare right now. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, obviously, and what you do.
Yep, so Derek Cooper, owner of ASC Insurance. I specialize in Medicare. That's kind of my niche as far as the insurance industry. Now, obviously I do health, life, and retirement, but I really specialize in helping people as they transition from working years into retirement years.
Now, I wanted to ask you with a few questions that are not on yours that I wanted to get out. So first of all, everyone, this is a free service to you out there, and a lot of people think, especially the old folks, that's too good to be true. But it is true, isn't it?
It is. So when I help somebody transition into Medicare, all my services are complimentary. So from the meeting, enrolling, and actually maintaining that relationship with them long term, it's all complimentary, because what I do as a broker is I actually give them many options, and then as the time comes, they get to choose which company that they want to go to that fits their health needs, and then that company actually pays me to help manage that account.
Right. Now, the other thing is that you said that you work statewide. As a matter of fact, that this also includes most of the states. They're in the Southwest.
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
And you write this number down because somebody turns 65 every day. That's number one, okay? And as we're getting closer, the senior season comes in. But right now, if you're turning 65, you need to have somebody that's here that you can talk to, because calling those 800 numbers, it's not that Joe Namath calling you back. It's it's kind of crazy for the people to even call them when we have people here local that can talk to you. His phone number is 480-648-5052, and his website is ascinsuranceaz.com. Okay, let's go into some of this stuff. What are the different parts of Medicare, number one?
Yeah, so there's 4 different parts of Medicare. There's Part A, which is hospital insurance. There's Part B, which is the actual health insurance. There's Part C, which most people see on commercials, which is the Medicare Advantage plans. And then there's Medicare Part D, which is the drug plans. Now there's another component to that, which is the Medicare Supplement or a Medigap plan. Depending on how someone wants to go with their Medicare, they can actually take certain parts of Medicare, but not all parts of Medicare. So it really is dependent on how you want your health care to be run.
I think everybody has a story.
Yes.
That's number one, and everybody's different. When you talk to your neighbor and they say to you, oh, I'm on this and I love it, it may not be great for you, right? Even in your own household, from what I know.
Correct. So when I sit down with someone, I do an assessment, and we just start to talk and ask some questions. Depending on how they answer, maybe their medical history, what medications they take, we can start to go down different paths as far as their healthcare. So if your neighbor says, oh, I'm on this plan, it's the best, you should get it, that may be great for the neighbor, but that might not be the best fit for you long term. So we want to make sure that you have the best options and that you pick the best plan for you for that period in time for you.
You're probably on some different medications.
Correct.
Than them, and that's the biggest issue right there,
yes.
Right?
Medications are covered very differently depending on what plan you go on.
Now, somebody's just turning 65. When should they call you, number one?
Yep, so typically someone reaches out to me probably 6 months in advance to when they're turning 65, and that's where we can basically map out their timeline.
So do they need to enroll in Medicare? Do they have a choice whether to do that or not?
They do have a choice. So when we do that first initial call, and it's 6 months out, we say, okay, if you're going to take it when you turn 65, we want to jump on it 3 months in advance. But if someone says, hey, I'm turning 65, but I plan to work maybe for 4 or 5 more years, they technically don't have to take Medicare as long as they have what's called creditable coverage from their employer.
Well, the other thing is that you want to make sure it's better than what, that it's not better, I should say it that way.
That's
right?
Yeah, that's kind of the verbiage behind it, is that they say as good or what Medicare can offer.
Right.
So again, it's really, for a lot of people, it's a math equation. It's like, hey, how much do you pay in premiums? What's your deductibles? How's your health? and we compare that on the group plan versus Medicare, and we kind of say, hey, maybe you do want to stay, or maybe it's a better option for you to come off that group
A
plan.
lot of people that are turning 65 probably don't even realize that you do have to enroll yourself. Do you help them with that?
I do. So I used to actually, a while back, I used to help people do the enrollment, and then now I sit with them while they do it, because I know which questions to answer, things like that. We typically set up a virtual call, do it through that. I'd
That's
have them
nice.
share a screen and say, hey, click on this for this question. It's probably going to be a no or a yes. So I just make sure that they get through it, because sometimes there's a question on there, if they don't answer correctly, they only get part of Medicare, not all of it.
Wow, see, it's scary. You don't know what you don't know. And the other thing is too, that a lot of people don't realize that your card doesn't just magically come in the air because in the mail because you turn 65. It doesn't work like that. You have to enroll correctly, right? And the other thing is I don't think people realize too, it costs money.
Yeah, there's a premium to Medicare, and it's all going to be based off how much your income is. So there's different tier levels. For most Americans, they pay the base premium. That changes every year, that they're going to adjust it. But if you make more in your income, or if you maybe take distributions, or you sell a home, that's counted as income in some states. So that can increase how much you're going to pay. And also, the government looks at it in a 2-year look back. So it's
Of
not,
course that comes into play.
Exactly. So they're not looking at it currently. They're looking at it 2 years in the past. So if you made a whole bunch of money and then you retired, and there's paperwork to file to bring things down and get it current. But yes, there is a fluctuation or difference in premiums based off your income.
His number is 480-648-5052. His website is ASC Insurance, AZ.com. This is a free service to you. It makes sense especially if you're turning 65, if he walks you through it like that. It's so nice that you do that. Also, he works statewide, and as a matter of fact, most of the states in the Southwest as well. The other things that we want to talk about is a little bit about this question. What is better, Advantage plans or supplement coverage?
There is no best plan. And the way that I look at that is it has to fit your need. If you're looking at them comparably, Medicare and a supplement, Medicare is the primary insurance. So if you plan to be maybe a snowbird, or if you are a snowbird, or you're going to travel quite a bit, Medicare is in every state. So that may be a great option for you, because if you're traveling all over, you don't have to worry about, am I in network, out of network, how does this work? If somebody really wants to save premium dollars, or they don't mind having the insurance company be in the driver's seat, then the Advantage plan may be a great fit, because that's more of a pay-as-you-go system. You don't have to pay a premium every month necessarily to have one of those plans. So it's not necessarily what's the best plan, it's what's the best plan for your needs.
And the only way you're gonna know is by having a consultation with him, because you can't, a lot of people try and do this on your own, and yeah, can you do it? Probably, but it's like what we were talking about earlier. What you don't know, and if you don't do something right. Here's the thing about Medicare, is they also ding you and charge you if you don't do things right. I know that for a fact. And unfortunately, when that happens, you might have just not even realized it, but they don't seem to just care about that, that you made a mistake. Okay, there are rules and regulations to this whole thing. That's why you want to go with somebody who is reputable, somebody who has that experience. And especially when you're working, let's say, on the Social Security site and you're signing up for the first time, and there's a lot of questions there and you don't understand, he will walk you through it, and that's what's awesome. Now let's ask you really quickly, how does Medicare Part D work?
So Medicare Part D is where I see the most mistakes, and basically Part D is easy to remember because D stands for the drug plan. What happens is, if someone decides, hey, I'm a do-it-yourselfer person, I'm gonna go and sign up for Medicare, what happens is a lot of times if you take Medicare and a supplement and you call the company directly, they're just gonna give you the plan that they have. It may not cover your medications the best, and you also may pay a higher premium. So the way it works with me as a broker, I take a list of the medications, I put it in a system, it ranks all the plans that are available in the state from cheapest to most expensive, and it tells me based off the medications and the dosage that you take this is the best plan for you for the year. And those are annually renewable plans, so every year that plan may change. Tier levels may change too, so if you stay on the same plan, maybe it was a tier 1, tier 2, maybe it's a tier 4 now, it's a more expensive medication, so we maybe need to switch you to another plan. So that's the component. Part D is where I see the most mistakes, the most changes every single year.
What happens when somebody's medications change? They get something, all of a sudden now they're on a medication in the middle of all of this. Do they call you and tell you?
I hope so,
Okay.
because a lot of times what ends up happening is they'll get a medication that they get prescribed from a doctor, and it's very expensive. And I'll say, hey, maybe you look at these ask them, hey, is this an option? Because it's a very similar medication. Also too, if it's something that maybe that is very expensive, I'll tell them, hey, there's a form you fill out and it's an exemption form, and then we just need to get to the finish line until we get to the next year, so we can switch you to plans where that medication is covered better, and then we can get that for you for the following year.
Well, you see, you learn something every day. That's what I love about this show, is that there's so much information that people can get, and things that you may have never even realized. One of the things that is so important is to please do call somebody local, especially. We have the fact that we have inundated with ads in television especially, and a lot of those ads sometimes on TV can be a little bit misleading, right?
It's marketing.
It is, but here's the thing too, when you call some of those places that they're only working for that one company, that's what they're gonna push. Well, you have all of them that you can find the best one that works for you. Again, he works statewide, as a matter of fact, even in most of the states in the Southwest, so he can help in the southern states, I should say it that way. And this is a free service to you, the families out there. His phone number again, write it down, it's 480-648-5052. His website is ASCInsuranceAZ.com. If you're turning 65, and how soon should they, even if, let's say it's next week, can they still call you?
Absolutely.
Right.
So I call it white knuckling it sometimes, where someone calls me and then we're at
I
a
white
deadline.
knuckle it every day as I'm driving, what are you talking about?
But yeah, they basically give you 3 months before your birthday month and 3 after to get everything done in a proper amount of time.
Make sure that you're ahead of it and don't wait, because the consultation is free. It makes sense to do, and it makes it a lot easier for everyone. Again, that phone number is 480-648-5052.